kid, come here. Do you like bass sixes? Huh? You want to see some bass sixes? Come on. Come with me, don't be shy. No, seriously, I want to talk about bass sixes today. My journey began a few years ago with that one, and this is sort of more the present era, and this is maybe the future? Over here. So this is the very first bass 6 I ever made. I completed it in the fall of 2020, and it's made from some 400-year-old white oak. And so at the time, I didn't really know what a bass 6 was. Someone had made a comment on one of my videos like, you should build a bass 6, and I wrote back like, well, I just did, because it was a 6-string bass video. He's like, no, a bass 6. And I fell in love with it. I just instantly wanted to make one to experiment. So I designed this from scratch. I wanted it to have this sort of retro future thing, and there's really, on the market today, there's a couple companies making them, but a lot of them are inferior, or you can get into this like really upper echelon stuff. And I was like looking at what some of them were doing and seeing what I liked and didn't like, but I knew I needed to build one to really know what I liked and didn't like, and so that's what this was for. And I used some pickups that were made by another company, and I wired them individually, and I knew that I wanted to kind of keep with that sort of tradition of having a lot of switches and stuff. I have my kill switch, of course, and I looked at this instrument as an experimental instrument, something that you could play chords on. But I also see it as being something that people were going to get freaky with and want to have all sorts of fun things they can do, and whammy bars and, you know, pedals and all that kind of like shoegazy type stuff. And so I made this bass, I filmed it, and then I went to my buddy's studio, the Red Room Sound Studio, and we did a 2-piece live recording of a song, just a simple melody I wrote. He played drums, I played this, and we did a little freak out section. And you can go check out that video. So I've been constantly messing around with this instrument and seeing what I like and don't like about it. And there's a few things I didn't like about it, most specifically the headstock. There's a lot of tension going on here. It's a little bit different than a guitar. I wanted to make a beefier headstock that was a little more stable. I used really skinny frets on this one. I thought it would be kind of cool to use like a smaller fret to help compensate for the big strings on the small neck, and I disagree with that now. And now I use more like a medium gauge, like a typical fret. Of course, I wanted to make my own pickups, and then I wanted to mess around with the switching design. So, like I said, this was number 1, and now I'm going to show you number 7. So now by the time we get to number 7 here, I've refined a lot of little things about the design. And this is not just based on what I was looking for, but also what I was getting from some clients, because I did a couple custom builds out of these 7. They were like commissioned pieces, and so I was learning from other actual bass 6 players what they were looking for in the instruments and what they liked and didn't like. And that really helped inform me about what I was finding that I liked and didn't like as a newbie to the instrument. And so now this instrument, while it looks basically the same, it has a couple critical differences. One is the headstock design. I have this nice beefy strong headstock with the side mount tuners. I really like that a lot. Still going with the 0 fret. I changed the proportions around here a little bit to where I feel like they're better suited for these giant strings that are forced to go over a guitar bridge space here. Like, so normally if like you're 2 1/8 inches string spacing here, with guitar strings there's a lot more space in between because they're a lot smaller. And so I wanted to, get as wide as possible and make it not feel like you're hanging over the edge of the neck here, but then also have it, be not so far apart that you can't chord, and really really walking that line. And I feel like I got a pretty good balance and proportion here. Another key thing for me was making sure that this bridge was multifaceted for intonation and string height and stuff, because people that play these types of instruments are experimental. They're experimental with string gauges, they're experimental with, you know, like all the different like layouts and setups and stuff, tunings, all those sorts of things. So we need to be able to make the instrument be able to handle all of those changes, including having a triple reinforced neck. So besides the truss rod, there's 2 carbon fiber rods in here. And then obviously using durable materials, having this multifaceted adjustable bridge in every way possible. But then also electronically, I wanted to make it more versatile. And so I started making my own pickups, because that way I can control it, right? So now I'm making my own humbuckers. But so all the stuff that you just heard a minute ago was actually these pickups in single coil mode. So now, besides having 2 pickups to choose from, I also have coil taps on them, so they can be single coil pickups or humbucker pickups, making it even that much more versatile sonically. Still have my kill switch, of course, and my Bigsby. Another big thing was I discovered the oversized spring, which really makes this tremolo system work a lot better under the tension. The springs that come with these were a little bit tough. Sometimes you'd have to kind of yank them back into tune, but now it's pretty rock solid. Really comes back in tune with that extra heavy spring. And then I still have 3 tone drops here instead of a tone knob, just giving you some options, you know. And I think this is a really versatile and usable instrument for creative musicians that does pretty much everything I could imagine, and all these other people I talked to could imagine the Bass 6 needed. And then I met this guy. So Thomas contacted me and commissioned this custom Bass 6. So this is number 8. And what he wanted was a little bit different electronically, which I was happy to oblige, and actually kind of glad to oblige, because now it's given me some more stuff to think about. So Thomas was hoping to have the same setup as this one with the 2 humbuckers with the coil taps, which is what we have here. He wanted knobs. Well, we had a back and forth about some electronics. We ended up settling on 2 different tone knobs instead of switches, so some more blending can be done. And then what we did is we added this 3rd pickup, which is just a straight, like a single coil pickup. The humbuckers are my nail buckers, by the way, so the poles are actually some old like pallet wood nails. And so what Thomas wanted to do was set up this knob up front instead of a kill switch. And what this does is, on one direction it turns it so just the middle pickup is on, and in the other direction just these guitar pickups are on. So it's almost like 2 separate systems. We're calling this one the bass and then this one the guitar. And then you can actually put it right in the middle, and it's notched so you can find it. So you can use all 3 pickups together. So here, I'll show you. So if we go to the front, I'm pretty sure that is... That's the middle pickup. I couldn't remember. So when it's all the way to the front, it's just this single coil pickup. Now we'll go to the back, and we have control over these 2 nail buckers. Right now we're on the treble. There's a single coil. So you can actually get that kind of funky stratty sound there. Or humbucker. And then we can go to the front pickup. Single. Right here into the middle position, actually have all 3 pickups running, or choose between the front and the back with the middle one staying on. So you see there's a lot of options in your fingertips, and I haven't even touched the tone knob yet, just toggling around between these pickups. And I thought that was a pretty cool system. I think I would almost rather see a switch here than a knob, but with the knob you can blend a little bit between the two systems, which is kind of nice. And there's also some definite volume differences between the nail pickup and the pickup with these more traditional Alnico poles. But I think that's kind of a plus with this instrument, because the whole idea is being able to get all these different sounds and functions out of it. And it almost gives you like a volume boost without a volume boost pedal, and it gives you a complete tonal change. So it's actually, I think, close enough. I didn't put it on a decibel meter to see how big of a difference there is, but I think it's close enough. And I know that the customer was digging it the way it was. One of the great things about getting something custom made is you can always change your mind in the future, and I can change it too. That's what's really fun about this, and which is what's so much better than just like going to a store, right? Getting what you want. So thank you very much, Thomas, for bringing me down this road with the Bass 6. And this one is available for sale over at newperspectivesmusic.com. And if you say, I know Tim Sway, you can save 10% off it. This one's not for sale. It belongs to someone, but if you want me to make one like this for you, or however you want it, just drop me a line and we'll discuss it, because it's a lot of fun, man. Thanks a lot. Be good. Thank you.